Garden tour, garden vlog, garden at the beginning of the season. Hello, welcome to 77's Garden, where we talk about gardening, ways to save money, and other special events. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notified of all upcoming videos. Hello everybody, so today I'm gonna do a quick vlog, a vlog of how the garden is going. We're gonna start the garden very soon, so I'll try to see if I can do it this year, of just making sure that every week or so I just give you guys update on what's going on in the garden, what we're doing, and you can follow it, or you can see what we're doing, and I might be able to do the same or do something different. But just to show you guys um, starting process, how the garden looks like now, and then we're gonna go throughout the season and see how everything is progressing. It's also gonna give me an opportunity to be able to at least see what's going on and see what changes I can make for next year to get a better garden, and also improve some of the things that we've done from last year. So hopefully this helps you out, as it's gonna help me to be able to understand, okay, what we did, what particular time of the season, and what can we do to make sure that we do much better in terms of making sure that things uh, are much better um, the next year than this year. So with this, for the start, I'm just gonna go through the garden, show you some of the stuff that we've done, and some of the things that we did in the fall that's helping us, making sure that we don't have a lot of work to do for the garden. So let's go. So the first place we're gonna start here is, um, as you can see, this is my potato. This is our potato uh, patch area, or where we have our potatoes in containers. As you've seen some of the videos that I posted, um, our potatoes are coming along great. These are the first things that we planted outside, apart from the garlic that we planted last year, but this is what we planted outside, and they're doing great so far. So hopefully within a month and a half or 2 months, should be able to, because we planted them like a month ago. So and it's usually like 3 months. So hopefully within 2 months, or after 2 months, we should be able to start harvesting some potatoes from the garden and be able to start getting some stuff. Over here I have, we planted some stuff. We have this is a garlic that we had from last year. It's doing great. We planted it in the fall, left it in the greenhouse, and it just started growing, and it's just brought them outside about a month ago, and it's all doing great right here. We have onions right here. We planted some onions. If you guys saw the video, we planted some onions about 3 weeks ago or so, and you can see the onions are coming out. Over here, we planted um, carrots. Carrots haven't started coming out yet. This is the last container we planted. Over here, we have onion, some carrots. These containers right here are carrots. You see the carrots have come out, and we have some more onions over there. So we planted some onions in containers. So those are the stuff that we have out here in containers so far. Gonna show you our seed starting, what's going on. We started our seeds. Let's get into the greenhouse, and I'll show you what's going on in the greenhouse, and some of the seeds and planting that we're doing in the greenhouse. So as you can see, we're in here. These are the tropical plants that I brought in from last year. I put them in my grow tent in the basement, and I brought them out here spring, so they're doing great. Over here, this is where we have our seedlings. As you can see, the seedlings are doing great. We have Bekang over here. This is Anchia right here. And if you watch my last video, I showed you, I started them in here. This is just a container. I started them in here. There were a lot of them. So I just keep weeding them out and putting them in separate containers to give them more room to grow and expand. So they're doing great. Here is a pumpkin. The pumpkins are looking great. I think they're gonna be a little bit early to because we still have at least 3 weeks to transplant them into the garden. I'll say 2 or 3 weeks to transplant them into the garden. So if they keep growing like this, what I'm probably gonna do is have to repot them into a bigger container so that they can keep growing, so we can before we transplant them outside. So but the pumpkins are doing great. I transplanted some of the vegetables into containers where they're gonna grow inside here. So we have more vegetables from the greenhouse from last year that we brought in. Over here we have, you see, we have some still coming out. We have some coming out, and we have to transplant these into different containers. As you can see, some of them are doing great. These are peppers. If you watch some of the videos that I talked about last week, I looked for some particular peppers because the peppers that I planted didn't come out, so I didn't. So I got a couple of peppers. If you're gonna see peppers, I planted some of the Bekang and chia into containers. They're gonna grow in here, and we're gonna harvest them in here. So far they're doing great. Got more containers with seedlings in here that some of these we're gonna transplant into the greenhouse, and some of them are gonna be transplanted outside into the garden. So these ones over here in the bags are already the ones that are gonna stay in the containers here. And we harvest a lot of vegetables from our greenhouse, so that's a good start. We're gonna get a lot of vegetables. As the last video I showed you how to maximize space in your garden, you can see when I planted these, I sprinkled a few seeds. These seeds are gonna be maybe in a week or two, once we start growing outside, we're gonna be able to transplant these seeds from here into the garden outside. So that way I don't have to have separate containers in the greenhouse to start seeds. If I already have these containers over here, it's gonna at least maximize the space and also get me some seedlings for my garden. So those are some of the things that we have in the greenhouse growing. The seedlings are doing great, and hopefully I have some over here that is just covered, and hopefully within 2 weeks we should be able to start transplanting some of these outside into the garden. So overall everything is doing great in the greenhouse. So hopefully we'll get it going outside and be able to start harvesting some stuff in the greenhouse. In terms of the garden itself, just show you over here. Let's start over here. So if you saw my video last fall, what I did was most of the potting containers or most of the potting mix, whatever we had in potting containers outside, I put most of them in here and then just cover it up just to help the get some mass so that the worms and the other stuff can at least with a mass like this, they're gonna be much better in terms of, and also be able to clean out all the containers from outside. So we'll put them in here, the worms and everything should be able to recover much faster. You can see the worms are already digging in and doing their job. Later on, we're just gonna when we're planting more containers outside, we're just gonna come and grab it and fill up our containers and add our fertilizers and organic materials and plant in it. So over here in the garden, as you can see, in the fall I use some of the leaves. I just use the leaves to cover I just cover the beds, as you can see over here. So leaves, we use the leaves to cover the bed so that a lot of weeds don't come out. I'll show you later on when we get to another area where we didn't cover as well, and the weeds just took over the whole bed. But over here we covered it with leaves, and it hasn't come out. We haven't had a lot of weeds yet, so far that's good. Over here, this is a kale that just came out by itself from seeds that dropped last year, so should be able to start getting some, harvesting this kale now and using it in the garden. So our tomato bed right here, as you can see, we had our leaves, and very little weed came out of it. Over here, I'm using this grow bag right here. This is the first time using, I bought the grow bag and I started filling it up. I still have to fill it up and then plant stuff in it. So I'm just waiting for the temperatures to be a little bit warmer. Maybe within a week or two, should be able to start planting outside. I'm gonna fill it up more with compost and then plant. I'll see if I can put a link to that in the description. It's good. The only thing I didn't like about it was the height. The height wasn't high enough, so I used some stones just to raise it up a little bit. But so far the material looks good, and it's holding up good so far. Same over here. We use leaves to cover it up, the areas, our container there. Over here, let me show you. This area of the garden. We did not cover it up with leaves. As you can see, the whole area has been taken over by weeds. So we did not cover it up with leaves. So I think that's what I'm gonna do more next year, is cover it up with leaves like these. Once, at least it's gonna reduce the amount of weeds that comes out, and it's also gonna help the garden maintain some moisture, and helps the soil too. So over here we covered this bed with leaves. We covered part of this with leaves, but as you can see, the back end we did not cover with leaves. They just weeds have just taken over. So another thing we did in the fall was we got rid of some of the corn stalks and other stuff, clean up a little bit. We cleaned up most of this side of the garden. What we're doing right now is just clean up the rest of this. We still have this section to clean up, get rid of the weeds, before we start planting. So I have some compost right here that we're gonna put into the garden. Once we clean up the bed and we till the bed, we're gonna put the compost in on the bed. So you can also get compost like this. I have a couple of videos that talked about compost and how you can get compost. If you don't have a compost pile, you can definitely check your local areas. There's some local communities or local councils or town councils that provide compost for their residents. So check your local areas and see where you can get good compost like this to add to your garden. You don't have to buy it. You can always check your local areas. We have a couple of areas. I go to my recycling center here to get compost. Even though I have a compost pile, I'm going to show you my compost pile, but I just needed more this year because of the space and the amount of stuff that we're going to grow. Last year I didn't put a lot of compost. This year I'm trying to make sure that I put a lot of compost. So also this bed right here, we had added a lot of leaves to it. As you can see, cover it up, so not that much weed has come out. Same with this back area over here. We added a lot of leaves to cover the beds. The raspberries are doing okay. They're doing good. So we covered the whole area with leaves, and that has prevented weeds from coming out. So hopefully that that's something that we're gonna do more next year. Cover the whole garden with leaves, and that will reduce the amount of weeds we have in the garden. So over here we have my worm bin right here. This is my worm bin. So if you don't have a worm bin, I have a couple of videos that shows you how to start your own worm bin and get your own worm bin. This is my compost pile right here. We're in the process of turning it up. We're gonna take the top up, flip it over, and then what comes out on the bottom, we're gonna take it into the garden. So this, you can see the cardboard and stuff. I just threw all the cardboard over here. I just make sure that I try to take out all the tapes and stuff like that, any plastics, but the worms break down the cardboard and breaks down into the compost pile. So over here we did the same thing. We covered the whole area with leaves, and that helped at least we don't have that much weeds over here. So we're ready to go to the garden. So we did the same over here. The wind has blown some of them over here, but as you can see, not much weed has come out and has covered this area. So very soon we're gonna start tilling and planting in the garden. So that's something that we've done, and hopefully we'll get a much better result this year. Over here we have our beans right here. There's beans. So what I did in the fall, I covered it. Like I said, I put most of the potting containers that I used. I put most of them in here, and then just use leaves and grass clippings to cover it. And the worms and everything in here is fine. So we should be able to start planting in here, I'll say within a week or two. Same with these ones over here. So our strawberries are coming out great. They're already producing some flowers. This one's already producing some flowers. Our strawberry tower is also doing great. So hopefully we'll get some huge amount of strawberry this year from that. So also I fixed this up, and we added some compost in there. So we're gonna add more compost and plant once we start planting outside. Okay, that is it for today. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please smash the like button. It helps the channel out. It helps the video out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It also helps the channel, and also makes it available for other people to see the video. And don't forget to share. If you like the video, somebody else might like the video, and share the video and help them out too. Okay, happy growing, everybody.